What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the channel. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing below. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2006 Nissan Sentra 1.8S. And this car is actually very special to me because my first car was a 2005 Nissan Sentra. I believe it's a great first car for anybody to have and a good car overall for anybody. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing it and showing you everything it's got. So without further ado, let's get this video started. Now, the 2006 Nissan Sentra comes with 4 trim levels: the 1.8, 1.8S, SER, and SER Spec V. What I love about the Nissan Sentra is how basic and simple the car is. Towards the front of the vehicle, we have 2 halogen-powered headlights. In the middle, we have the big Nissan emblem. And if you want a more sporty looking front end, an optional package that you can get is the Sport Appearance Package, which gives you an SER style front grille as well as fog lamps. This 1.8S is equipped with the 15-inch steel rims with the hubcaps on them. You can also get the 16-inch aluminum alloy rims that is part of the Sport Appearance Package. The 1.8 and the 1.8S came with front disc brakes and rear drums. Moving on to the side of the vehicle, what's unique about the fender is if you have the 1.8S Special Edition, there's actually an emblem that goes on each side of the fender, and the same goes with the SER and the SER Spec V. As we go on, what's unique about the side mirrors is that the 1.8S SER and the Spec V have the mirrors painted to match the body of the car, whereas the 1.8 only comes with the dual black side mirrors. We have a molding that comes out of each door and a line that goes through each door handle. Towards the rear of the vehicle, we have red taillights. In the back window, we have a brake light. Towards the left and right of the license plate, there's reverse lights. We have the Sentra emblem on the left and the 1.8S emblem on the right. And what's cool is that if you have the Special Edition, there's actually a Special Edition emblem that goes underneath that. Part of the Sport Appearance Package and the Special Edition, there's a spoiler that you could get as well. Now, one of my favorite features about the Sentra was how big the trunk is. As you can see the inside, we have a pretty decently sized trunk. And on the right and the left side, you can pull this to push the seats down. And underneath, we have the spare tire and a decent amount of space to put your tools and whatever you need to put down there. Now, to show you how much room we have back here, I can lay in here comfortably, take a nap. Now, underneath the hood, the 1.8 and the 1.8S came equipped with a 4-cylinder engine that produced 126 horsepower and 129 foot-pounds of torque. You could also get it in either a 5-speed manual transmission or a 4-speed automatic transmission. So moving on to the interior, on the left we have the cloth stitching. We have the power windows and the power locks, which is something that the 1.8 did not offer, with the handle above. And a little compartment underneath to store stuff, as well as the speaker. In the inside, we have the tan seats made from cloth. With the Sport Appearance Package, you could get the Sport seats, which is a sport cloth. As well, with the Sport Appearance Package, you could get a leather-wrapped steering wheel. And on the right, we have the cruise control, and that is something that the 1.8 did not have to offer as well. You cannot get cruise control, and you can see right here is all the settings: on, off, accelerate, cancel, all what you need there. Above we have the speedometer, which I really love because it's a very simple to use and really easy to read speedometer. On the left we have the ability to change the side mirrors, the interior lights, and the trunk underneath. And then right here is a compartment where you can put stuff, coins, what you need. Right here, pop this off. You can actually adjust the leveling of the steering wheel. Underneath, we have a couple things you can switch from. You can go from trip A, calculate how far you're going, trip B, the outside temperature, distance till empty in miles, and your MPG. Right here on the left, this is where you turn your lights on, high beams, and then to turn your turn signals on, you just pop that up. On the right side right here, we have the windshield washers. Pop that back, then it operates it. So on top, this is the top storage right here. You just pop that over and put some stuff in there. That's actually something that the 1.8 did not have to offer. Underneath, we have 2 vents, as well as the hazard button in the middle. We have the radio underneath that. Very simple to use. We have the AC settings underneath, which is very simple to use as well. You go from cold to hot, change the settings in the middle as well, and then where you want it on the right. And then a little storage compartment in the middle. Put some stuff that you need, maybe coins or whatever, and then the AC Volt right here underneath. And then we have 2 cup holders and another storage unit right there. Towards our right here, we have another vent, a little storage compartment, and the power window setting right there. And then underneath, we have the glove compartment where you can store stuff. Here you can switch gears. Behind it, we have the e-brake, an AC Volt right here so you can power your charger or whatever you need. Then if you open this, we have room right here to put a couple cords and stuff. So kind of small, but enough to put wires or whatever you need. And you gotta be careful because this is very flimsy and fragile. On the car that I used to own, it did break. So this is something that's common that you gotta look out for. Right here, you have the rear view mirror. Right here, you can store sunglasses. Click these to turn on the lights. And then you have the mirrors as well right here. No light, just the actual mirror. Right here too is where you can adjust the height of the seatbelt. Overall, it's pretty good room in the front, about 6 foot, and you know I can reach all the pedals. I'm right in the middle and I have a good amount of room. I can still move this up or down if I need to for my knees, but it's a pretty decent size for the front. So that's it for the front of the interior. As you guys can see, it's a very simple looking interior. I mean, all the controls are really basic and they're not really hard to operate. Very simple, and that's something that I really liked about this car is how user-friendly all the controls were. So moving on to the rear of the interior, we have the handle right here, the power window, and then a little compartment for your hand to close and open the door. But there's actually no storage compartment underneath like there was in the front. So if you want to store like a water bottle or a cup, there's actually 2 cup holders right there in the middle. But yeah, on the other side, there's no storage compartment either. One complaint I do have is that there's not a lot of leg room in the back. I'm really cramped and hunched right now. My knees are touching this front seat and it's kind of uncomfortable because I feel really cramped back here. There's really not a lot of leg room at all. You can even see right there. The back is very compacted and not a lot of room at all, to be honest. So this is how it looks with the seats reclined. This is actually something the 1.8 did not have to offer. And if you have the premium audio package where there's a subwoofer in the back, you actually can't recline both of them. You can only recline one. So that's pretty much it for the interior and exterior. Let's go ahead and take a test drive and see how it does on the road. All right, you guys, we're about to go for this test drive. So right now I have the car on and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So basically I want to talk a little bit about the background to the Sentra in terms of this body style. This body style was sold from 2000 or 2006 and it actually got a facelift in 2004. They call this body style the V15, and the facelift is what you're seeing with this car. And the older Sentras looked a little bit different. I mean, the headlights were different, taillights were different. It was a whole different look to the car. So the 1.8 was the most basic and simplest of the 4. It didn't have the power locks, the power windows. It didn't even have air conditioning or a radio standard. You had to get that in a separate package called the convenience group, which I find interesting. So the 1.8S is a little bit higher, and then you get more features standard like the power windows, power locks. You get all that, air conditioning. You can get a bunch of packages like the premium audio. You can get the sunroof package, and you can get the sport appearance package. And the special edition is actually the premium audio plus the sport appearance and just special edition emblems. So it's just those 2 packages with emblems. Comparing the 4, if you're looking for a basic daily driver and you still want those power features, go for the 1.8S. If you don't care for any of that, then 1.8 is for you. But if you want the sportiness, you're looking more for the SCR and the SCR Spec V. But the most sport Sentra you're going to get is the SCR Spec V. So let's talk about fuel efficiency. The 1.8 and the 1.8S got 24 mpg in the city and 32 on the highway for the manual version. It got 24 mpg in the city and 31 on the highway for the automatic version. The price of the 1.8S, I've seen some on Craigslist go for like $500, but I would say the range for finding one right now is between $1,500 and 5,000 for like a really good one in really excellent condition. They go for so low right now. I mean, about $2,500 for a car is pretty good. So some things I hear about the Sentra being bad is the engine is loud when you're driving. I don't notice it so much when I'm just cruising. If I give it some gas, I can definitely say that the sound of the engine is a little bit more noticeable from the interior, a little bit more noticeable than most cars are. And I've also read that the seats can be uncomfortable. I've driven long distances with the seats, and I mean, it's okay. I can see where people say that it can be uncomfortable, but for the most part, it's all right. I just say, like, after an hour or two of driving, you can kind of notice that you have to like move around a little bit, kind of like I am a little bit right now, and just readjust. And I've also read that people complain about the interior having a little bit of a cheapness to it. You know, like I was talking about, this console right here can be fragile. And I've seen on some Sentras the steering wheel peeling and stuff, so that's something you got to look out for. So let's talk a little bit about the reliability. When I was in high school, this was my first car. I had a 2005 Nissan Sentra, and I absolutely love that car, and I really didn't have any issues with it in terms of reliability. The only thing I did to that car was I had to change the speed sensor, I believe, and other than that, I had like little things like just the oil change, transmission fluid, just the things you should be doing in your car. But you know, just the speed sensor I remember, and maybe even the thermostat, but never really any major issues with that car, which is really what a lot of people have been saying about the Nissan Sentra. It's a very reliable car. I would say this though, if you're looking for a Nissan Sentra of the facelift, you like the facelift look, I would go for a 2006. And I say that because a really common problem with the 2004 and 2005 was a head gasket. The head gasket blew a lot, and I read a lot about how there was a major issue with that. You don't want a blown head gasket. I would just shoot more for a 2006 if you're looking for a facelift. My favorite part about this car is how user-friendly it is to actually use. You know, when it was my first car and I first learned how to drive, I didn't want a lot of complicated settings, and the minute I got in the car, I started to realize that it's so simple. You got the radio, you got the AC controls, you got the speedometer, and that's it. I don't have to worry about any other features, and it's so simple to read and use. So the practicality and simplicity of this car is really good. It's very simple to use. You don't have to go online and research the controls or anything. It's right in front of you, and it's so user-friendly. So that's my major, most favorite part about this car, is how user-friendly it is. If you give it to your kid as their first car, they won't have any difficulty using the controls or learning how to drive it. I mean, you just get in there and you go. I love this car a lot. It got me through so much growing up, and I will continue to love this car. I definitely recommend it to anybody who's looking for one. Alright you guys, so I'm going to wrap up the video right there. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I sincerely appreciate everybody who supports my videos. If you can, please leave a like below, subscribe. I'm going to have a lot more car videos, car reviews, all kind of fun stuff coming your way. So that's it guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.